Hi everyone, and welcome to the final installment of the imperialism series. We'll move on to other topics for after this, but for this one, I sort of want to bring it home to Kenya. So, with apologies to those who are not from Kenya, um, we've suffered imperialism for a long time as a country, and we've obviously had our views over how the British colonialists imposed their will on us and all these other things on us. But the reason it persists to this day is not because of the British colonialists, it's because of us Kenyans. We are incorrigibly almost imperialist. And as much as we complain about certain strictures imposed on us by other countries, for example, we complain about what one goes through at various high commissions and embassies in Kenya trying to get a visa to travel, particularly to Western countries. Um, but long before one does that, how come we never talk about the horrible imperialism we impose on each other when one goes for an ID card? In Kenya, we have a national ID that is mandatory for every Kenyan over 18. Basic requirement for anything, job, getting into university, getting a phone line, opening a bank account or anything. It's the bullying is it's a almost comical picture of imperialism if it wasn't so tragic. Those of us who got IDs way back in the 1980s, it was even worse then, but it still persists even now. Just last earlier this month actually, my I took my son to go and get apply for an identity card, a national identity card in Nanyuki, which is a town in central Kenya. For those of you who don't who are not familiar with Kenya, and basically the two things required are proof of citizenship, i.e., parentage, and proof of age that you're over 18, because those are basic requirements. But we get there, and the first thing the lady asks there is, what tribe is this boy? Where are his school documents? I mean, there are people who don't go to school, and someone who's never been to school is also entitled to an ID card. Where are the school documents? And I told her he's in fact he had just finished his exams. Certainly he hadn't gotten his results or any leaving certificate. But I told her, no, we don't have those really. But I've got my ID as his father, showing that I'm a citizen, and I've got his birth certificate showing that he's over 18. So by law, he's entitled to it. Now, then the bullying started. My ID, as luck would have it, was issued in a town called Kitale in Trans Nzoia County, bordering Uganda. So I was told, despite the fact that I'm settled here, bought land and own land, I'm settled here in Nanyuki in central Kenya, I'm told you are coming from a border county. So we cannot accept just your ID as proof of citizenship. They said they would have to fingerprint me as his father. I said, okay, fine. You want to fingerprint me? That's fine. Then they said you have to bring the mother as well. You have to bring a letter from your chief and the chief as well. They said we have to even fingerprint the chief who is claiming that to verify the fact that you are resident. It was a whole tirade of bullying. And I think what really drove me over the edge was when the guy actually started, first of all, saying that you cannot share the same surname with your son. This is you have named the name, even the naming the way you've named your son is wrong. He should not be called Ogada, and he was obviously referring to the Kikuyu system of naming. And at that point, my son got puzzled, like, what is someone asking even about his name? And I lost my temper. I lost my temper. I said, I'm going to go to another office. So we left, went to another office in Naromoru, nearby by town. Got well served. Got well served. No asking for anything else. No questions over anything. They even asked us, so do you want, as we put his home county, do you want us to put your home county where you ancestral county or where you live now? And very polite, very good, very well served. So after that, I went back. to the Nanyuki office, and I spent about 30 minutes dressing them down until the chief registration officer came out to apologize. And but it's sad that people think this is normal. If I imagine a young man or lady who went there and did not have the parent with him or her, or maybe does not even, many do not know the parent, one parent or another. The parent might even be deceased, might be son of a single or daughter of a single parent. We can't treat each other like this and then complain about how other people treat us. The same thing with passports. Passports has only become a civilized process maybe in the last 10 years. Those of us who got passports back 25, 30 years ago, you know what we went through. So this imperialism, at one of my earlier talks, I said imperialism without an empire manifests as stupidity. And we'll see it all over in Kenya because Kenya is not an empire, but we have imperialism. So it manifests as stupidity. It's there in our education system. People are made to jump through hoops and have stupid assignments with their kids, and no one asks because we've accepted that that imperialism is part of us. The worst thing is that it infantilizes the population. And this may happen in other countries, but in Kenya, there's some people are always asking you to tell him what to do. What do you think I should do now? So who should I support politically now? Or what should I do? Or what should I buy? Or where should I go? Or what's your solution? That's infantile behavior coming from an adult. My own child rarely asks me that now that he's 18. But we've been infantilized our population. We wait for politicians to tell us where to go. We wait for the elders, government appointees to tell us what to do, what to eat. And we even instructed how long we should breastfeed babies in this country exclusively, and we shouldn't give them solid food. Someone's actually instructing you on that kind of thing. But the crumbling of empires cannot let us continue like this. The crumbling of imperialism, rather. So it is crumbling. It's up to us now to grow up. It's so urgent. I can't overstate how urgent it is that we grow up, because we still seek to impose it in the most comical ways. It would be comical if it wasn't so ridiculous. When the standard gauge railway train was started operating between Nairobi and Mombasa, they said no, you can't get on with any food and drink. Imagine people traveling with babies. Have you ever traveled with a child, not even a baby, just a child without snacks or drinks? And this includes baby formula, baby milk, and this kind of thing. It's ridiculous. You may have your own particular drink you like, but they don't want to let you carry it. There, I know people who are technicians who regularly go to work in Mombasa, and they can't take the train because you are not allowed to carry any metal object on board. So they can't carry their tools, their pliers, and these kind of things. And they purport this to be a security issue, which is rubbish. Someone's not going to hijack the train and take a left turn off the railway into the bush in Savo. It's just imperialism. It's just imposition of rules to put down the population and infantilize them. But we actually do the opposite. We make ourselves subjects, rightly so, of ridicule. We have a big football tournament, the Chan Cup of Africa Cup of Nations coming up. We have a new stadium. I've seen sports reports also saying that facilities are ready. But one thing that stood out in my mind said there will be no food allowed in the stadiums. How stupid is that? Who has ever gone with the kids and family, or even yourself, to go and watch a football match without having a drink or a snack or a bag of crisps or something? Simply organize how to clean up after the game is done. But you don't seek to infantilize people like that. And that's why it's very hard for us to be taken seriously. We don't take ourselves seriously. And we have to grow out of this need to impose something. We've just decided now to raise the age of drinking, the age when people are allowed to drink, raising it arbitrarily to 21. So people will be allowed to join the army. You can join the army. If you join the police, you can drive. You can once you can join the army, you can even shoot and kill people. You can smoke. You can get married, get pregnant, have children, but you can't drink until at 18 or 19. You can do all those things, but you can't drink. And what makes people think that raising the age will reduce consumption? And what business is it of the government to reduce consumption? If anything, they're the biggest beneficiaries. Our tax-hungry government is the biggest beneficiaries of the consumption of alcohol. It should just be regulated and laws enforced in terms of what you cannot do when you are intoxicated. And obviously, the 18 enforce it. It's not properly enforced even now as we speak. Even the 18 is not enforced. I don't know how they're going to enforce 21. If you have an ID card, if you have an ID card, you should be allowed to drink or get into the place. They're not even allowing you into the area where alcohol is being sold. We can't suddenly decide on a given day that an 18-year-old is a child after we've had it all along that the 18-year-old is treated as an adult. Even if he murders someone, he'll be sent to jail. It's not his father or mother. But this is imperialism. Imperialism in places that in amongst people that don't have an empire. It always manifests as stupidity. And this is what we must get away from. And we are not going to do this getting away by the old days. Empires used to be conquered by other empires with superior violence because it used to be top down. Imperialism, this crumbling of imperialism that has to come now, will come from the bottom up. Start saying no. Start saying no to a teacher giving you some bullshit homework to go pick bottle tops outside a bar to make some funny thing with your kid for CBC. A teacher telling your kid to go and do something in the house and take photos of your house and upload and share them with the class or whatever. That's invasion of privacy. A teacher telling your kid to go and say what you ate at home. You start by saying no to such thing, and you don't need to be rude about it. Just say no. I mean, I support a kid in this school system, and I've just said no very politely to a teacher who's 20 years younger than me, not anywhere near as educated as me, cannot give me homework to do. And I told him, no, I'm not going to do it. And you can know that this kid's not going to come with anything having been done by me from home. And your job is to give him the work, let him do the work in school and do what he can, teach him what you are supposed to teach him in school. I'm not going to get into get involved in that thing. So it's simple. It's simple. This is how we push back against imperialism. So I hope we can look at it in our workplaces, education, our hospitals. We are treated like imperialism is even imposed by the Ministry of Health. We are constantly being told, take your child for this, that, the other vaccination. It doesn't matter if he's had it before, just take him to get another shot. And now you are supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And we have to take we have to grasp our own agency as individuals before we can grasp our agency as a society or as a country. And once we do that, then the world will become diverse. Opinions will be diverse. Human society will be that much richer. The global community will be that much richer. We should stop trying to do things because so and so says it or so does it and so is considered to be great or somehow conferred with authority over our thinking. We must read outside our fields of study. Um, One person who really impresses me is Professor Lukoya Tuoli. He's a professor of medicine, but when he speaks about sociology, society, history, and philosophy, you'd never know that he's a medical professor. You'd think he's a professor of philosophy. Let's read widely. That's insurgency. It will be very hard to suppress such people. And this is why our government is trying to create educational pathways at a very early age. They don't want to end up with a scientist who can speak about philosophy, a medical doctor who can talk about history, an engineer who knows about sociology, because such people end up not being easily subjected to imperialism. And imperialism is what they want to impose on all of us. So let's remember that and push back against imperialism. whenever and wherever you see it. It's about us. It's not nations. It's about individuals, first of all.